This video is going to be a look at the Lions' dramatic defensive shift or schematic alterations, adjustments, if you will, in their Week 15 blowout win over the Broncos, a team that had come in winning 6 of 7 games, regardless of level of competition and how the Broncos played Saturday night. They had won 6 of 7 games against NFL teams. This defensive shift that I'm referring to, of course, is two-pronged. Number one, you had substitutions or players that were in, and certain guys had gone to the bench. Tracy Walker and Jerry Jacobs had been replaced by Dorsey, Vildor, and Melifonwu. This performance, if you ask me, defensively sticks out compared to recent games against the Bears, Packers, and Saints. All 4 of those games, because they played the Bears twice, their opposing teams were able to exceed 330 offensive yards and get over 100 yards rushing. If you reach back 1 week further to the Lions' road win over the Chargers, 41-38, Detroit's defense had allowed an average of 366 yards of offense and 30 points close to 30 points per game, actually 29.8 in the last 5 weeks. Saturday night's effort was a large-scale shift in results, clearly, particularly in the first half. But I think what preceded that was the shift or adjustment in methods and personnel on the field. I will attribute some of it to it. I can't definitively say that Jerry Jacobs and Tracy Walker III couldn't have done some of the things that were done on the field Saturday night, but the point is they did not. Aaron Glenn's defense used DB blitzes far more often. I don't have the actual numbers because at this point, Sunday afternoon, evening, as I record this, I've only watched the first half of the All-22. And certain plays that I charted live, I think I've got 16 queued up for you guys here. Broncos only finished with 287 yards of total offense and only 75 coming in a shocking first half. I say shocking because of how aggressive the Lions defense was in bringing DBs on blitzes from everywhere and utilizing multiple coverages. It's a very unique thing for me to be able to say this. I have indicated or at least hinted lately that I thought that the Lions could do more defensively to be more multiple, more versatile, present different problems or equations for the quarterback to have to solve post-snap, kind of like Mike McDonald and the Ravens do. And Aaron Glenn did that, starting from the first possession. We'll get the film going here for you guys, and we're going to look at selected plays from each possession, primarily focusing on the first half. So this is 2nd and 10, Broncos' first possession. Lions, of course, weren't able to get anything going on their first 3 possessions, really. And this is Melifonwu on a blitz, but this is recognition, if you ask me. So when I say recognition, I mean tight end motions across. Now, there hasn't been any communication here. I will show you one illustration of extreme levels of pre-snap communication by the Lions. But you're going to get flow away, and then Hutchinson's going to go down the line with the running back, and then Melifonwu is going for quarterback. He's going for the boot action. And the corner down here, which I think is Dorsey, would be responsible for the hide concept, the receiver coming from the other side, releasing the front side tight end to the front side safety, which I believe is Kirby Joseph. Another interesting element to this, besides the fact that maybe some of the Lions guys have got to get used to blocking downfield for each other. It is Isaiah Buggs. It's going to be difficult to imagine him taking that to the house. But check out the post-snap rotation of Sutton to deep halves, kind of like a cover 2 safety, if you will, a little bit. And you got great timing on the blitz. You can only wish that maybe Hutchinson or somebody a little bit faster than Buggs picked it up, but a cool moment. I don't know about you. I was rooting for him to take it to the house. Would have been a long run. Credit to the Broncos offensive lineman for the hustle to get down there and prevent him from scoring a defensive touchdown. End zone angle, same play. You can see there's no communication happening here. There's no one saying we're going to do this once the tight end motion's over. So it's not like recognition of the formation. I just think that Hutchinson and Melifonwu are timing this up. They think they've got run to the field or play action coming back to the boundary. And in this case, they're right. Melifonwu was able to get in there, get his hands on the football, get the defense off and running, and prevent the Broncos, from taking a 7-0 or even 3-0 lead. Moving forward, this is the Broncos' second possession. I think I'll show 2 plays from here. Hutchinson had a number of pressures, if you ask me. I think 3 that I tracked. Almost a brilliant interception by Kirby Joseph on the diving attempt. I'm not going to show you every angle from all of these plays, to be honest with you. This is an example of some organic pressure created absent a DB blitz. 4-man pressure. You've got one of the Okwars, I think it's Romeo off the left side. Hutchinson getting ready to swat down on the ball. I thought there was 2 or maybe 3 opportunities for the ball to pop up like this. One of them, Anzalone knocked down on a blitz, and I forget who the other guy was. But this is the very next play. 3rd down. You got Irvin in here. I love his stance, ready to go. Hutchinson, a little bit higher stance, not tilted down towards the ground as much. But this is the pass rush group that I like, I'll be honest with you. And these pass, in terms of who they have available right now, if they're going to go with an organic rush, I like Irvin and Hutchinson on the outside. I'm not saying exclusively, use other guys as well. And then Pascal on the inside, along with Kaminsky. Those, to me, are the guys that are active and athletic enough to win their matchups out on the edge or as the D tackles inside. Hopefully I said that in a way that makes sense. Goes down as the Lions' second consecutive stop to open the game. Meanwhile, the offense was struggling to move the ball. This is going to be 3rd possession. Irvin nearly gets a sack on this one. Russell Wilson's going to escape and hit Cortland Sutton, for a 24-yard gain. I'll probably say Cam Sutton when I refer to Cortland, or Cortland when I refer to Cam. They matched up against each other often. This is interesting to me. I'm not sure that this is an actual pass rush attempt. This, to me, almost seems like a designed spy from an edge rusher. I'm not sure that even makes sense, or I've seen that often. But you got Kaminsky, Hutchinson, and Irvin over here who are clearly rushing, almost like they're encouraging or influencing Wilson to move out to his right. The defense's left. I think you get a really great angle of it here. It doesn't seem like, to me, Campbell is really trying to do anything to get to the quarterback. It seems like he's just eyeing Wilson. Didn't really work out for the Lions, and I think from there on changed their mode when it was 3rd down. Now this one is same possession, this is the same play, my apologies. The conversion to Sutton, who comes all the way from the other side of the field, the bottom side of the field here. You can see, I think you've got a cover 3 here. I think you've got a cover 3 corner, middle of the field, free safety, 3 underneath droppers, and this is Melifonwu, who's a little deeper because he's coming from a safety position to do it right here. I just rewound it real quick so you guys could see it. So his drop is going to be a little bit deeper than the other 3. I think you got cover 3, and he's just deeper than the line to gain. In this case, difficult matchup on the Yankee concept. A lot of time, just can't give him that much time. And Cortland Sutton able to make the catch for 24 yards. So same possession, 3rd and 4, approaching midfield. This is going to be a beautiful play by Branch down here. Recognition. I think you've got a Tampa too. So Aaron Glenn definitely mixing it up. He's definitely mixing the coverages up. In this case, they're not bringing a DB blitz. They're not bringing a stunt. You can see it's only a 4-man organic rush. Hutchinson doesn't appear to be on the field. Branch, and I believe that is Reeves Maben, but I could be wrong, are playing the hook areas between the hash and the top of the numbers. Anzalone is the, quote, Mike linebacker in this Tampa 2, responsible for running between the hashes. Half field safety, and then I think you've got cover 2 hard corner here, jamming those guys up, physical if they're going to try to get an outside release. And Branch with a great break on the ball to force what I thought was a fumble in live time, but it was not. Clearly, the referees ruled it correctly. Incomplete pass. Branch is just that kind of dude. Somebody said in our Discord, our Lions community Discord, it's like whatever he hits, man, he just destroys. All right, Lions offense finally able to get stuff going. The possession that branched over the end of the first quarter to the second quarter. Get the touchdown on the brilliantly designed play to get Laporta open in the left flats using St. Brown's gravity. And almost kind of using them as bait. So picking up here, second quarter now. Broncos' 4th possession, 1st and 10. And this is going to be Vildor on the blitz. You can see that him and Joseph have communicated something right here. Definite examples, and I'll try to point them out to you in this video. I'm recording this right before the Ravens game starts to try to get you guys some content. At least 3 examples of clear pre-snap communication that looks like an improvement over what we saw last week. I saw guys flying around. Pascal seems to be playing a whole lot better. I'm not sure that I would advocate for Pascal to be the edge rusher here like he is, but nonetheless, the Lions are using him everywhere, getting him a lot of snaps. From a long-term perspective, you're getting a lot of reps of Pascal, seeing what he can do. That's also possible they lined him up at edge rusher because they knew they were going to bring Vildor off this stunt, but you don't know what formation the Broncos are lining up in. What I do know is these DBs brought the heat. We used to call them fire blitzes. And they definitely brought the fire to the defense, and there was a little bit of an element of uncertainty watching the Broncos line up. I was excited on every snap. It's like, what are they getting ready to do now? It reminded me a lot of the Ravens. Of course, the Ravens are going to play the Jags tonight on the road, probably without Kyle Hamilton. So who knows how that's going to turn out? But these guys, I think, replicated a lot of that uncertainty, that excitement that you get watching a defense that is multiple. I think they've definitely moved to being more multiple, they being the Lions defense in Week 15. Who knows how much of it's going to stay. 3rd and 15. My apologies. This is a tackle for loss by damn near everybody for the Lions defense on the very next play after that first down hit by Vildor. 2nd and 10. Loss of 3. Branch. Javonte Williams, who's a load to tackle, is able to shrug him off. And then Melifonwu, Anzalone, Bugs swarming, and Sutton all there. That play to me really illustrates what you got effort-wise and passion-wise out of the Lions defense Saturday night. Stark contrast to what you saw in previous weeks, if you ask me. Something lit a fire underneath of them. Maybe it was the blitzes, maybe it was the quarterback hits, whatever it was. Hope they can bottle it. So this is the 3rd and 13. After that 3-yard loss right there, you can see there's a little bit of an element of obfuscation by these guys off screen to our right. Joseph is lined up near the line of scrimmage, and then he's going to drop back deep. You got Kaminsky, Pascal, Hutchinson, Irvin. Your pass rush group on a 3rd and 13. And it's a one-on-one win for Pascal against the left guard, who I think is Ben Powers. Used to play for the Ravens. I don't know that he gave up a sack all of last year for the Ravens. If he did, it was 1 or 2, if that. I don't think he got off to a great start for the Broncos this year, and this rep right here is a clean win for Josh Pascal. If he can do that against interior guards, you got yourself a winner there. Lions stacked up another touchdown to make it 14-0. If you recall the possession, Gibbs had a 21-yard run. Then there was a 21-yard completion to Josh Reynolds. And then Jamison Williams with that ridiculous juke on the left sideline for a 19-yard gain before Goff finds Gibbs for an 11-yard touchdown pass. So Broncos' 5th possession. This is a 4th and 1. Wilson's going to jump over the pile to get the first down, but they're still backed up way in their territory. I think it's like negative 22 or negative 23-yard line. Gets the Broncos a first down when they really needed it, going for it on 4th and 1 from backed up in their own territory. 2 plays later, you've got a 2nd and 8. And now this play, the running back falls down after catching it. I'm going to see if you guys are going to – I'll run it maybe twice through, see if you guys are able to pick up on what I'm going to mention here that I think is a bigger deal than just maybe some others would explain it as. If you compare it to 2 plays last week against the Bears, where I pointed out there was just players standing there, no communication at all. Watch this here. And I'm talking about, I feel like it's every second-level player on the defense is communicating something, and I think it's Jack Campbell up there is communicating something to Kaminsky. Echoing calls, moving around to make sure everybody's got the right call. It's a 2nd and 8, pass, innocuous play to the running back, Javonte Williams, in the left flat. He falls down. I wonder sometimes when you see this level of pre-snap communication, the defense getting on the same page, if you will, if that helps them then shut down the routes that are available to the offense such that the quarterback has to settle for something like that in the left flats. I feel like karma, trickle-down effect, domino effect, whatever you want to call it, is a real thing. Anyway, it creates this 3rd and 10, and here comes the crazy. You're going to get Melifonwu on a late blitz to hit Wilson. Calls an incomplete pass. He's down here. I will do a film study video on him maybe Monday or Tuesday. I think you've got 4 deep or 4 under, 2 deep, which is crazy to see the Lions using it because that's one of Mike McDonald's favorite blitzes on 3rd and long. This is like, I feel like I'm watching the Ravens in a different color. The only difference is there's not as much of a mug pre-snap look at the line of scrimmage, meaning 6 guys, maybe 7 lined up there is what Mike McDonald tends to do on this 4 under, 3 deep. It's just, I would just call it a cover 2, where you have 2 deep safeties, and you're just missing one of the second-level players because you're bringing 5. In this case, the 5th rusher is Melifonwu gets a quarterback hit. I think his second or maybe third of the game. Give you a view of it from the end zone angle. Again, this is fifth possession. It's 14-0 Lions at this point, and Aaron Glenn has not taken his foot off the pedal. These things are working. How much of them is going to stay in the defensive playbook? How much of them are going to stick around next week? I don't know if it'll be as many as we saw on Saturday, but there's got to be a retention of these concepts, utilization of them in certain situations to force the offense to be put on the back foot, to be put on the defensive, if you will, and because you're being so unpredictable. Goff added another touchdown pass to St. Brown, who leaped over defenders into the end zone to make it 21-0. At halftime, the Lions defense had only given up 4 first downs and 75 total yards. Dramatic shift in scheme, disguise, and execution. I think it caught the Broncos by surprise. So Denver, of course, opens up the third quarter with a long drive, converting this 3rd and 12. There's going to be a DPI on Anzalone. I think you've got a Tampa 2. This is their 7th possession. Empty, a pre-snap, and Anzalone running with Marvin Mims. Isn't in bad relationship at all. Just isn't able to turn back and look for the football at all. Clear DPI. Going to fast forward here. Broncos are able to get a touchdown there, make it 21-7. At that point, I was like, okay, are we going to have shades of the Saints game here where the defense plays well in the first half and just kind of collapses in the second half and you have to hold on to win? Goff added another touchdown pass, his 4th, to make it 28-7. This one was Laporta against Patrick Surtain in tight space. So moving forward, this is a brilliant moment by multiple guys on the Lions defense. First, Cam Sutton. Second, Derek Barnes. Or second, Melifonwu, Anzalone, and I think Jalen Reeves-Maben. And then Derek Barnes. So this is a 1st and goal, 8th possession, 28-7. Again, we fast-forwarded. This is not the continuation of the DPI I just showed you by Anzalone on the Tampa 2 on 3rd and 12. This is the next possession, the ensuing possession, after Goff's 4th touchdown pass. The timing on this by Cam Sutton versus Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton has been a real issue for people in the red zone. Red zone, 10 touchdowns this year. And I thought this was an amazing play by Cam Sutton, who I think's had a really solid year. There's moments recently where he didn't play as well. I thought he looked really active, really quick and smooth, and everything was in tune on Saturday night. So that was 1st and goal, incomplete. 2nd and goal from the 9. This is going to be complete to the running back here. I think McLaughlin. It's man up at the top side. You got the tight or condensed split by Cortland Sutton. He's just shielding the inside linebacker here. That's all he's doing because he knows that it's man. So you got Cortland Sutton. As soon as he sees the linebacker start to go over the top, he starts to hedge back this way. He's just trying to get in Reeves-Maben's way. Running back McLaughlin brings the route back under. I called it a zig route in the reaction video. It is a zig route, but there's no defender there because Reeves-Maben has been shielded. And then Melifonwu with big contact. Anzalone, I mean, it certainly looked live speed like he got in there. Everyone's reacting on the field like, did he get in? Did he not get in? I think even McLaughlin wasn't sure because he ends up with his helmet back on the 1.5 yard line between the 1 and the 2. I thought it was a great moment by the defense here. Goal line stand, if you want to call it that, whatever. I mean, the Broncos certainly could have challenged this play or even the next one, which I thought was an even better play by Derek Barnes to keep the running back out of the end zone because of who it is. It's Javonte Williams. Now, he doesn't tackle him short. I think Javonte Williams is definitely in the end zone at the end of the play. But I love Barnes' angle, man. Barnes had missed a tackle in open field earlier in the game in more space, not down near the goal line. I'd like to see him maybe, get his head a little bit more even or in front. You couldn't have him be like too much to the top side because then Javonte Williams just cut it back. There's nobody there to help him. I think that's what makes this such a great play is Barnes knows there is no help on the inside here. I've got to make this play. I don't want to say on the backside shoulder, but I can't go too far over the top and give him a cutback lane. Certainly, again, looked like a touchdown live speed to me, but when you watch the replay and then you watch these, you don't really get a great angle here from the end zone. And, hey, either one of those last two guys, McLaughlin or Williams, maybe they are in the end zone. I don't know. I still think it's great effort, a great finish by the Lions defense, which to me looked different Saturday in those regards. What changed? Was there somebody fire him up, team meeting, all of those things you hear people say? I don't know. I mean, some cases you're fortunate, like this one. The right guard, I think his head is breaking the plane of the football. I think it's halfway beyond the distance of the football, so they call him offsides, and this touchdown doesn't count. Why Sean Payton didn't challenge the 2nd and goal play to the running back or the 3rd and goal pitch to Williams, I don't know. You certainly think that I guess you could say he should have, because he ends up settling for a field goal to make it 28-10. And we all know that the Lions added another touchdown, and then Dan Campbell gave him the FU touchdown on the 4th and 2. Later in the game, I think the 3rd touchdown pass to Sam Laporta on the night. It was a fun game to watch, for real. I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. It was surprising to me to see such a brilliant tactical move after 4 or 5 weeks of struggles defensively. Look, Aaron Glenn and the defensive staff and Dan Campbell, they received criticism for the defense's play. Rightfully so. It's not just the nearly 30 points per game, 29.8 again. It's the fact that at one point the Lions were among the best in the league at stopping the run. First 6 weeks, I think they're top 2 or 3, somewhere in that area. The Browns were off to such an unbelievable start against the run. They were head and shoulders above everybody against the run in the first 6 weeks. Lions were right there, or just a little bit behind. The last 4 weeks, not just 29.8 points per game allowed in the last 5 games, again, reaching back to that road win against the Chargers, but in the last 4 weeks, the last month, they'd allowed 136 rushing yards a game while barely scraping by the Bears at home before holding on the road to beat the Saints in Week 13. Now, I think there's probably real optimism about the defense, about what they're capable of doing. Whether they'll execute it as well as they did in the first half against the Broncos, particularly against the Vikings and then the Cowboys and the Vikings again, who knows? Will there be this many DB blitzes? Should Aaron Glenn keep being this aggressive? I say yeah. In certain situations, yeah. Depending on down and distance and situation in the game. At the least, at the bare minimum, having them execute these coverages, these blitzes, stunts, whatever you want to call them, in a game with this level of importance. I mean, you got your 10th win, 10-4. Look, there was 2 blown coverages that I can think of. One by Anzalone in the second half. The first one, I'm not sure. In the first half, I'm not sure exactly who it is. I didn't show it to you guys. I thought it was Anzalone, but I saw the All-22. I can't figure out who to blame it to. So it doesn't matter. There's only 2 blown coverages in this game that I saw on crazy stunts that they were using. I think it was a really important decision to deploy the defense in this manner, and the personnel changes were important as well. Again, against a Broncos team that had won 6 of 7 and was starting to think about sneaking into the AFC playoffs. I think the Lions defense really made a statement and has taken the first step towards really returning back to that team that they were in the first 6 weeks, when you were talking about them possibly competing for the top seed or home games at least in the NFC playoffs. You guys let me know what you think of the video in the comment section. If you think other Lions fans would appreciate this breakdown on a Sunday night, of course, it's going to premiere while the Ravens are playing, then please consider grabbing a link to this video, sharing it out on social media to help this content get more reach.